Around 12:20 a.m. on October 25th, Ukrainian attack drones launched toward the Belgorod Reservoir Dam. Flying low and fast, they carried precision explosives designed to crack concrete and flood the river below. The dam fed Russian supply routes near Vovchansk, and tonight it was the target. The drones weaved through valleys and tree lines, silent but deadly. One perfect strike would release millions of liters of water, flood roads, trap Russian units, and turn their logistics into chaos. Russian forces had been using shallow crossings near Vovchansk to move troops fast. Ukraine needed the river to become a barrier again, not a highway. The Ukrainian operators launched long-range attack drones. As soon as they were airborne, the team focused completely on the screens. No chatter, just the mission. Crossing into Russian airspace triggered multiple radars. Russian Tor units scanned the sky. Book systems tried to track targets. S-400 arrays expanded coverage, but the drones were flying low, hugging tree lines and terrain drops, slipping under most of the radar sweep. They advanced quietly, using the same tactic Ukraine had perfected since 2022. Stay unseen, strike hard, disappear. Soon the dam came into view, a huge concrete wall holding back millions of cubic meters of water. If that wall cracked, Russia's movement near Vovchansk would fall apart. The first drone dived. A direct hit. A bright flash lit up the water. Before the Russians even reacted, the second drone slammed into the same weak point. That double strike was the key. Concrete shook, cracked, and gave way. Water burst through like someone had punched a hole in a pressurized tank. Well, nobody expected the damage to spread this fast. Within hours, the water level in the reservoir dropped by nearly a meter. Downstream trenches flooded instantly. Some Russian soldiers woke up with water already inside their dugouts. Mud sucked at their boots. Vehicles got stuck in place. Trucks spun their wheels but couldn't move. Commanders yelled into radios, demanding equipment be moved. But many routes were already underwater. On the Ukrainian side, analysts watched live footage and wrote a short report. Enemy logistics have become significantly more complicated. In simple English, Russia's front line was about to get messy. Russian troops that had crossed near Vovchansk now had a major problem. With the water rushing through the broken gates, their return routes disappeared. Bridges weakened. Dirt roads turned into sludge. Reinforcements couldn't reach them. Supplies couldn't move forward. Just imagine you're advancing, then realizing the river behind you is now trapping you. Pro-Russian Telegram channels posted chaotic videos. One clip showed water blasting out of the broken sluice like a pressure hose. Another showed trenches filled chest deep. In one widely shared video, a Russian soldier complained, "Our dugout flooded after the dam was hit," sounding more angry than scared. Russian officials rushed to calm people down. Belgorod Governor Vyacheslav Gladkov claimed the situation was under control, but he also admitted openly that another strike could cause a full breach. That one sentence alarmed civilians. Soon, evacuation buses moved through nearby villages. Families left with bags and pets as police directed traffic over half-flooded roads. But that's not all. Satellite photos revealed the truth before officials did. By morning, OSINT analysts released images showing a huge crack in the dam. It wasn't a small dent, it was a serious structural wound. Water flowed non-stop. Downstream farmlands drowned. Roads disappeared under brown water. Russian defensive lines looked more like shallow lakes. Russian media tried to hide the scale, but the images kept spreading. This was the first major Ukrainian strike on a hydrotechnical target inside Russia that caused real military disruption, not symbolic damage. and soon a debate began. Russian channels said HIMARS did it. Commander Robert Madyar Brovdi insisted it was drones. By midday, the Russian Federal Water Resources Agency declared an emergency. Repair crews arrived but quickly realized the problem. They weren't dealing with surface damage. The drones had hit a structural weak point, and the water pressure was ripping it wider. However, the more water escaped, the more Russian units got trapped. The Siversky Donets River swelled fast. Units from the 128th, 116th, 68th, and 136th Brigades found themselves boxed in. Their trenches turned to mud pits. Their ammunition got wet. Their trucks sank. Their firing positions disappeared. For some, the only escape was to swim. And swimming in freezing water near an active front is a nightmare. Meanwhile, in Vovchansk, fighting continued. But Russia's momentum started collapsing. Their assault groups lost mobility. Supply delays created shortages. Positions they had taken months to reinforce were suddenly vulnerable. Ukrainian analysts confirmed the situation is no longer in favor of the Russians. Not only this, the river downstream began eating the landscape. Roads that had been firm the previous day were now sinking under their own weight. Trucks filled with ammunition tried to pass but sank halfway, their wheels spinning like trapped beetles. Soldiers pushed them, cursed them, tried to pull them with cables, but the mud swallowed everything. The Siversky Donets River, once a shallow path for Russian logistics, had become a twisting monster, flooding trenches, soaking bunkers, and washing away camouflage nets that soldiers had spent days setting up. Villages near the dam woke up to water creeping across streets. Russian officials rushed in, telling people they had a few hours before the situation might worsen. Buses lined up like they were evacuating a storm-hit coastline. Mothers carried bags heavier than their children. Old men stared at the rising water with the kind of shock that doesn't need words. Families left behind chickens, tools, and small gardens because they didn't have time. Some cried. Some stayed stone-faced. A few even took selfies because they knew no one would believe how fast the water came. Then came the moment nobody expected. The river swallowed entire Russian firing positions. Videos popped up on Russian Telegram like warnings from another world. One showed a gun pit turned into a tiny lake. Another showed a soldier wading waist deep, dragging a crate of ammo that was now too heavy to lift. A third clip showed a BMP armored vehicle stuck so deep it looked like it was sinking into quicksand. You could hear a soldier shout, "It's over the tracks, over the tracks," as if saying it might make the water stop rising. That was the point when commanders realized their forward units were truly trapped. Imagine being a soldier on the Ukrainian side, watching from drones. They saw Russian brigades separated from their main forces by a river that was now a fast-moving wall. The units that had crossed earlier suddenly had no backup, no ammo trucks, no fuel, no reinforcements. Officers tried to get boats, but currents were so strong they flipped small craft like paper. Helicopters were too risky. Ukrainian drones hunted them constantly. In short, the battlefield flipped from advantage to disaster in one night. Back in Belgorod City, the governor kept posting updates, trying to calm panic. He claimed the dam was stabilizing, but satellite photos told a different story. Russian resilience plans kicked in. They deployed emergency troops with pumps, engineers with diving gear, and fire brigades with industrial hoses. They even tried welding plates over the cracks, but none of it worked. The pressure behind the dam was too strong. Every fix was temporary. The water kept pushing, tearing open anything that blocked it. Meanwhile, the after effects spread into the military zone. The mud disabled the Russians' whole rhythm. Artillery positions had to move higher. Fuel depots became islands. Mortar teams shifted to rooftops just to stay dry. And the worst part, drone operations on the Russian side collapsed. Their launch sites were flooded, their equipment shorted, their operators had to climb trees to get line-of-sight signals. But Ukraine, they kept flying. Their drones now had a giant advantage. Every Russian vehicle stuck in mud was an easy target. Every soldier forced to bunch up on a dry patch became visible. Every new trench looked like a shiny brown scar from above. The psychological shock hit Russian troops hard. Many felt abandoned. Some didn't know where their commanders were. Others recorded messages complaining they were stuck, hungry, and out of ammo. A few tried to swim across flooded crossings to get back, but the current slammed them into debris. Ukrainian observers reported bodies drifting downstream. This wasn't just logistics failure, it was breakdown. Casualty numbers were never officially announced, but footage told part of the story. Flooded trenches hid drowned soldiers. Vehicles carried by rushing water smashed into trees. Some resupply groups vanished completely when the river swallowed their paths. One Russian unit reported losing 10 men in minutes when their dugout collapsed under rising water. Beyond this, infrastructure damage spread across civilian areas too. Power lines fell when water softened the soil. Roads cracked, bridges were closed. Shops ran out of bottled water because pipes got hit. Even mobile towers lost power. The Belgorod governor warned that if Ukraine struck the dam again, flooding could reach another 3 settlements. And the Ukrainian side knew exactly what that meant. A rare window where nature and strategy were working together. The dam strike didn't just slow Russia, it fractured their movement across a key front. Even if repairs were made, the message was clear. Nothing behind the border was safe anymore, so that's all for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more frontline updates from the Ukraine conflict.